Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another release day reaction reading vlog. That will not roll off the tongue ever. Okay, today we are reading Greenwich Park by Katherine Faulkner. This is a thriller. This is being compared to The Girl on the Train, and I don't know if I love or hate that. I think this is the author's debut novel. Let me double check that. I think it is. That's always exciting. I love debut novels because if it's bad, it's like you can kind of give them a bone, but if it's good, you're like, oh God, that's amazing. And then you can't wait for what else they write. This is about a girl named Helen who has like everything. She lives in a nice house. She has a nice husband. She has a baby on the way. She goes to a prenatal class and she makes friends with some girl named Rachel. Rachel is really fun, but she's irresponsible. She's smoking and drinking while pregnant. In case you didn't know, that's a no-no. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something thrilling will ensue. So come along with me on this reading vlog. Okay, right off the bat, we open with a letter from Rachel to Helen, our main character. This is in the future when Rachel sounds like she's in prison. She's been convicted of some crime. So we know some shit's gonna go down. She also says something about how she feels like Helen's version of that night is made up, fictionalized. I forget exactly what it says. I'm on my phone, so I can't like read it. That already instantly puts us in the position where we have to question Helen's narration. So that's interesting. I think that's a good job on the author. I know this has nothing to do with the book, but this takes place in England, and I'm always like curious what the maternity leave situation is in England. Just because like the doctor said she has high blood pressure, so she has to stay home, like bed rest, but her work just lets her go. Is that like, I don't know, because in the United States, like they make you work until it's D-Day. Unless you have like a cool position where you can work at home. But anyway, not relevant. It's interesting. We can see that Helen already has a sort of obsessive nature. She seems to be sort of obsessed with Serena, who is her brother's wife. Yeah, so she like follows her Instagram religiously, it sounds like, and she like kind of wants to be like her, take all the classes she's taking, buy all the books she's reading. So we can see that obsession is in her nature. But we have seen Rachel a couple times. Helen is like, whoa, this girl is cray. And we're supposed to think that. So I don't know if it's Helen just being paranoid, but is Rachel even pregnant? I don't know. That'd be interesting. If she was like faking it so that she could meet Helen. See, the problem with me reading thrillers is that I come up with crazy situations for reasoning. And it never makes sense. Or sometimes it does, and I feel like a genius, and then I feel bad that I've preemptively spoiled this book. Anyway, very interesting. In between the chapters, we just got a little snippet, and it looks like an excerpt from a book. It is a guy and a girl having like hookups in the street, in the city, and they're described kind of like animals, but there's no explanation of what this excerpt is from. So the intrigue is building. I feel like I'm getting vibes. This is not a spoiler, this is a prediction that Rachel was either involved with Helen's husband or Helen's brother. I don't know, guys. Am I a genius? We'll find out. We have a new narrator named Katie. She seems to be either in the press or is just a concerned citizen. We've heard about a rape case several times now. In this scene, they're in the courtroom. The obviously guilty guy is saying he's not guilty. But we also heard about this while Rachel was reading a newspaper and she had a grim expression on her face. So is she somehow related to this crime? Is she a victim? Or is she possibly Katie? I don't know. That's weird that in the synopsis that I read, it said nothing about another point of view. Interesting. Wow, so now we're getting the point of view from Serena, who is Helen's sister-in-law. So we're getting a lot of jumping around, which I'm actually here for. Usually point of views jumping around can annoy me, but I think this is just making the mystery that much. And it's there's no mystery yet is the thing, but it's creating a mysterious atmosphere. I sound so annoying, I'm sorry. The fact that Helen is hanging out with Rachel just so she has something to talk about with Serena is the saddest thing I've ever heard. She's like talking to Serena now, and she's like, yeah, Rachel and I went there. She's like just trying to get, I don't know, she's trying to get Serena jealous or just interested in what she's having to say to like, she's obviously fishing for her to ask, who's Rachel? It's just so funny to me. I don't know if I vibe with Helen. She seems kind of like a fake ass friend to Rachel. Like, I don't know. So Helen is with her husband, her brother, and Serena. They are having dinner together. They bring up Katie. They bring up the rape case. And Helen says, it all seems really familiar, doesn't it? Or something like that. That is sketchy. I don't know what they're talking about. Everyone got really quiet and changed the subject. Ooh, I am intrigued. The other suspicious thing that happened is that Serena randomly deleted like the laptop browsing history, like, and it was just mentioned offhand. The narrator mentioned it. Sus, sus, sus. Everyone is sus. Oh God, that scene in the kitchen where Rachel just invited herself into Helen's house and Helen goes to reach for the knife to like make sure it doesn't fall off the counter. Oh, hello. And Rachel grabs it and says, oh no, you don't? I thought she was about to just butcher her. Wow. This author's doing a really good job of, it's almost horrific. Why did I say it like that? It's almost like a horror novel. Some of the, I'm gonna shut up now. Oh shit, this author is doing a really good job of like hyping us up, even though nothing is actually really happening. Everything is just so tense, and now characters, it's just, you know, there's something going on that nobody's saying, probably several things, and it's really got me wanting to finish it. It's a page turner. Rachel has just completely inserted herself into Helen's life. She's practically moved into her house. I don't know, she must be just like a master manipulator. I can't tell if we should trust her or not. Obviously she's hiding something. And it's really making us think that she's having an affair with Rory, but also that maybe she's a victim of a previous rape, and maybe Rory's guilty and Serena knew. I don't really know where they're going with it, but Rachel as a character is just so chaotic that it's stressful. You want to dislike her, but at the same time she is sort of likable. I don't know how to feel about her. I take it back. Rachel is effing annoying, and if she wormed herself into my house, I would have no problem kicking her out. No, I'd probably feel a little bad about it, but I would still do it. Helen, come on, what are you doing? It's the next morning. I'm about 50% into the book. Nothing has still really happened, but I feel like the suspense has built to a level that it's gonna break like very soon. Also, Mochi says good morning. Yeah, so I have to work, and then after work, hopefully I can finish this book. I'm very intrigued. I don't know what is happening. Everyone seems suspicious. I feel like this is actually a very good suspense thriller. There was a huge party at Helen's house. We're getting the fact that Helen is not reliable. She can't remember certain things. I don't know, something's just weird. And finally something happened. Rachel is now missing, and it's not even a spoiler. Well, I guess it is kind of a spoiler. But the thing that's funny is that the author's making us feel like she's dead. And it took me a minute to remember, oh, we find out in the beginning of this book that she's convicted of a crime, so she can't be dead. But yeah, I have a few theories, but I feel like there are so many parts to this puzzle piece. This is a really good thriller, really good, because even though I have suspicions and like I can see how everyone looks guilty and I could try to piece it together, it's not making sense, which is a good sign that there's a huge piece that I'm missing, and that will be a big reveal. I'm 80% in, and I feel like I know a twist that's gonna happen, but there are still so many things that are so suspicious. And then you take into consideration the beginning of the book, the opening, and I am just so excited to see how this is gonna end. Like, wow, this is really well written. This is written really well. God, I can't talk. Okay, I was just doubting myself, so I went to go read that opener again, and it's not signed Rachel. So Rachel could very well be dead. But yeah, this is getting so juicy. Like, things are happening that I did not expect, and now I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna update you when I finish the book. I love how that because I didn't correctly read something at the beginning, I have now, at the 80% mark of the book, created my own plot twist that wasn't even in the book. Okay, we got a reveal, and I wasn't expecting that, but I think another shoe is about to drop, and I think I am expecting this shoe, if that makes sense. But we got a 1 year time, what is it called? Time jump? We got a 1 year time jump. Okay, I finished. This was a really, really good book. I think I'm gonna give it like 4.5 stars. At the end, obviously I'm not spoiling what happens, but at the end, the person who committed the crime goes off on this tangent in their head about why they did what they did, which sometimes bugs me because I'm like, why would they just be doing this? It just seems like something that the author is creating, obviously, because they wrote the book. But it didn't, like, I was so interested in what was happening and the reasoning behind everything that I didn't even care that it was just an info dump. And I really liked how it ended, like the very last page. I have to say that I did see this part coming, although there were parts that I was still like, how does this fit together? All in all, this was a wonderful thriller slash mystery. Honestly, it's probably one of the best suspense novels I've read in years. Because even though you kind of can guess certain things, you can guess it because the author has given you clues. But I also loved all the characters because they were all so messy. And like none of them were really likable. And I feel like I usually don't like rereading thrillers because it's a one-off, you know what I mean? And there's not too much substance besides just the basic plot, but I feel like there were so many different clues and things that happened in the beginning and throughout that, like, I want to reread again to, like, pick up on it. Yeah, I think I'll definitely have to reread this. This was so good, guys. You should read this if you're into thrillers. And I forgot that this is Katherine Faulkner's debut novel. This is amazing. Way to go, Katherine. Wow. Okay, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this if you made it all the way through, and I will see you guys next time.